Dear disciples of Jesus, He is risen. Alleluia. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were the visitors to the tomb when the first day of the week was dawning after the Sabbath. Came expecting to find the presence of death and found life indeed. As a result of that, they were both joyful and afraid. In the face of life, the observers shook in fear. The miracle was an overwhelming event. They were not prepared for that. You cannot explain, fully understand, or try to offer a scientific proof of what happened that Easter morning. Our lives are complicated, doubtful, contradictory, full of questions and challenges. Jesus doesn't wait for us to get all solved. He comes to us and finds us like the disciples in our confusion and sadness. And like Easter morning, He transforms us with His living presence. He finds the path to enter our lives and offer us a new beginning. He meets us on the first day of the new creation as one who is transforming the world with His resurrection. That is why the first Christians liturgically called the Easter morning the 8th day, or octava dies in Latin. It was the best description to express the miracle. This is not just a day. This is the new day, the day the Lord has made. This is the 8th day. This is octava dies, the day of the new creation. Jesus is inviting us to open, to share the Easter miracle, and sharing the miracle, discovering the power of the miracle to transform us and transform other people. It is a miracle that changes everything and everybody, but it needs to be proclaimed, it needs to be shared, and it needs to encounter us when the risen Christ is present, transforming us inside out. The resurrection is a transformative power and a transformative event. What happened 2,000 years ago is still transforming people today. The disciples encountered the risen Lord and received the commission to proclaim the resurrection message. Resurrection means worship, divine presence, faithfulness, power, and transformative love. We are here to proclaim the power of God. Yes, the acting and living divine power that was demonstrated in the resurrection. And we are here to proclaim the presence and the transformative power of God, revealed in the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. Jesus' resurrection is the death of the power of death. The resurrection exposed the limits of death's power, destroys death's pretensions to have sovereignty over the world. Preaching the resurrection today in a global crisis is an important and urgent work. These important steps that daily we have to consider are the reason to be here today celebrating the Octava Dies, the day of the new creation, the day of the victory for God, the day when we can proclaim with faith and courage that there is no more fear, no more oppression under grief and sorrow, that I am saved. I have good news to proclaim. I have good news to live and incarnate, that Christ is alive, He is victorious, and now He is the inspiration and the strength to make all my life decisions with the clear understanding that life always has the last word, and that life is victorious today, dear congregation, because death cannot separate us from the love of God. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. He is risen. Alleluia. Amen.